So yesterday was a big and exciting day if you are a fan of video games because we finally got a look at the Nintendo Switch 2, a system with what I feel is a perfect name. You don't need to go crazy with the name. Call it like the Nintendo Ostrich or something like that to confuse people. A nice 2-minute and 30-second-ish trailer showcasing off the Nintendo Switch 2 system. I, of course, made a video on it along with a million other people. My video got on trending tab for gaming on YouTube, so shout outs to you guys for checking out that video and watching and enjoying it. It was a very fun time on the channel, but just like anything in life, when you get something and you kind of expected more, there's going to be people that are not happy. And I saw some of the most bizarre complaints about this presentation and the things coming from this presentation now that I just decided I need to talk about this. I saw this from random Twitter accounts I follow, Twitter accounts that retweet other Twitter accounts, other YouTubers talking about this sort of stuff, and I'm like, I guess you can't enjoy anything in life. So we're going to take a look at some of these complaints, most of which I think are ridiculous. Some maybe I'll give a little bit of credit to. But the first thing we're going to talk about here is arguably one of the dumbest things that I saw. And I want to get this out of the way because I have a lot of vitriol towards this. I saw a tweet that was being retweeted and shared that said something along the lines of, I wish the presentation showed me how my Switch 1 collection, and they named like 170 some odd games, will run and perform on the Switch 2. Now I have to wait longer. So you saw, let me get this straight. You saw a trailer for a brand new video game console. A video game console that is going to have its own library of games, that is going to be more powerful than the current console you have in your hands, that will play all 170 some odd of those games. And the first thing that pops into your mind is, what are my old games going to look like? Who cares? Who cares? You can play those games right now. I'm assuming you're expecting there to be some sort of way for these games to look and run better on the Switch 2. Now, whether that is due to native support, whether that is due to DLSS brute strength, which I don't think will necessarily be the case, whether companies come along and add in a patch for free or make a patch that you could buy for a couple dollars, $10 or something like that, or make a whole new version of the game, you could still play those games right now. You can play those games right now at this instant. So what does the new system have to do with the games? Who cares? And people were like, yeah, you know what? I don't know how my games are going to look. My current library of games. I don't buy I like backwards compatibility, and we're going to talk about backwards compatibility in just a second. I like backwards compatibility. I think it's a very good selling feature for a console because it allows people who have invested into the original console's ecosystem to bring those games over to the new platform. So it's a great thing. But it's not what I care about on day one with the system. What I care about on day one with the system is the upcoming library of games. I don't plan on playing any original Switch games on the Switch 2 on day one because I'm assuming there's going to be a bountiful selection of new titles to enjoy, new things to play, new experiences to be had. So I'm not concerned about that. But while I think that is an absolutely ridiculous just thing to bring up and that people were riding with that, like, how dare they? One thing I will bring up, though, that I think is a valid concern is the fact of the backwards compatibility thing. So during the initial trailer, the initial presentation for this, we saw that they did mention backwards compatibility, but it did say that it was physical and digital, but some software may not be compatible. And of course, I saw peers of mine making videos. Well, what does this mean? Well, what's this about? You know, this, that, and the other. Some people, going off the deep end. Oh, this is false information. They said it was going to be backwards compatible, but now there's an asterisk and there's certain situations. But I sat back and thought about it. And I don't even remember what the hell I said in my initial video, because I'll be honest with you guys, I had just rolled out of bed when I made that video. But I'm sure I said something along the lines of there's probably Switch-specific titles that maybe utilize something that the Switch 2 either does differently or may not have. And honestly, when thinking about it, Labo comes to mind. Because Labo, at its core, is a Nintendo Switch experience. And I think that maybe Labo will not work with the Switch 2 system because the Joy-Cons are different, because the screen size is bigger. So when you do the VR headset, you can't put it into that little piece of cardboard. So I think that's what this is stemming from. I think the technology in the Switch 2 Joy-Con is very different than the Switch 1 Joy-Con because of the fact that you kind of have a whole new ability, which we'll get into in just a moment with this system. But I don't think it's going to be a one-to-one sort of thing. I think there are differences between them. And because of these differences, things like Labo will not be supported with this. Now, is there a chance that it is more widespread? I do think so. And I do think that more clarification is indeed needed with this. But I'm not going to assume the worst with it. I would assume that it is more so going to be along the lines of stuff like Labo. And if we're missing out on Labo, and you genuinely care about that, man, you're on the wrong channel, homeboy, because we don't like Labo around these parts. It is a genuine concern, something to keep an eye on for sure. But I don't think it's going to play out in a manner where it's like, 40% of the library or something. Oh, it doesn't carry over for this, that, or the other reason. I do think the vast majority of things will. I just think outliers like Labo and stuff like that, maybe some eShop games as well, some weird, crappy eShop game might not transfer over either. But a valid concern. I will give that a valid concern. What I won't give a valid concern to is the fact that the system looks too similar. It doesn't have that Nintendo flair to it. It doesn't have that Nintendo pizzazz where they do something completely off the rails. And it's funny to me because the same people that are saying this sort of thing are the same people who hated the Wii U gamepad and did not buy the Wii U, are the same people who bitched about Wii U motion controls and used the Wii motion controls and used the Wii for a little bit to play some Wii tennis and Wii sports with their friends and family, but then quickly moved on and played other systems. Those same people are now the ones that are upset that Nintendo is playing it safe with this, playing it safe with the name, playing it safe with the design. To that I say, and this is going to sound mean, but I mean, it's kind of true. You don't understand how success works. The whole thing is video game companies are trying to find a formula. And sometimes you could take risks. Sometimes you have to break away from the formula if it's not working out in your favor, i.e. the GameCube situation when the GameCube did not sell all that well. So Nintendo went back to the drawing board and came up with something new with the Wii. The Wii U was a colossal failure in terms of naming, in terms of marketing, in terms of system sales, in terms of everything. And then you come back with this Nintendo Switch system that's probably going to be the best-selling system of all time. Do people complain that Sony doesn't take enough risks? Or is that why Sony's successful with their systems? Because you know what you're getting, a stronger iteration of previously successful hardware. Most people want Nintendo to take this approach safely because you found something that works really damn well. You found something that works extremely well, probably better than your wildest imagination would allow for. And to say that there's no innovation with this, going back to the controls, the Joy-Cons of the system, there's like a mouse. What the hell is that mouse? It looks like a mouse. It moves like a mouse. You're probably going to be able to use it like a mouse. And that, my friends, is innovation. That, my friends, is very interesting. That, my friends, signals to me that I'm getting a new Mario Paint. And I want that. And I want Mario Paint on Super Nintendo's online, on the online, Nintendo Switch Online. I want Mario Paint added to that with the mouse support. I want to be able to draw things, really just write words like John sucks. I want to be able to play the Fly Swatter game. I want to listen to the music. I want to create music. I want to be like a little kid and, tell people, oh, look, I made this song. I used to, like my cousin because he had a Super Nintendo. I didn't. He would leave the room, and he would come back like a few minutes later, like after going to the bathroom, like, oh, yo, I made this song. And I played a little demo song. He'd be like, you didn't make that. And I'm like, nah, bro, I totally made that song. Because I don't know. But, like, that's cool. That's innovation. That's taking something that exists and playing it safe, but expanding upon it in an interesting way to where you do open up avenues of creativity. You do open up avenues of freedom. You do open up avenues of being able to be a little bit different than other people. So to say that the system looks too similar and they're playing it too safe with this, no. They see success and they want more success. Sometimes you have to take a risk in order to achieve success. But if you have success with something, you obviously want to do something kind of similar to what you did before. So I think this is exactly what people wanted. And the people complaining about this, I don't know, man, that's just ridiculous to me. Now, another thing, looking too similar doesn't expand to just the system. It expands beyond that, folks, because Mario Kart 9, or I don't know, is it Mario Kart 10 because Mario Kart Tour exists? Is that Mario Kart 9? We don't really know, but there was a new Mario Kart that was showcased, and it looks like Mario Kart. This looks the same. This looks extremely similar to Mario Kart. Once again, what's Nintendo's best-selling system of all time? The Nintendo Switch, by a country mile. What is Nintendo's best-selling game of all time? It is Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, by a country mile. Nintendo could write Mario Kart on a box and take a dump in it and sell it for $60 or $70. People would line up out the door. It'd sell 20 million copies. Even if there's just feces in there, people would still buy it. Like, that's how big Mario Kart now has become. But does it really look the same? I guess from a 10-second perspective, sure. But what are the gameplay mechanics? What are the different tracks? And there was something different in that trailer. Of course, Donkey Kong himself. Now this is based on a movie version of Donkey Kong, which could be potentially something that Nintendo does more of going forward because they are within the cinematic world of stuff nowadays. But that is a change. He looks much more expressive in this than in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I can't really judge something on a 10-second trailer. Does it look like Mario Kart? Yes. But you don't have all of the context of that. So if you're kind of on the fence about it, sure. Okay. But to just completely write it off because it looks just like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Like, bro, come on. That was a little snippet. That was a little teaser, an appetite whetter. Pretty much saying, hey, Mario Kart 9 or 10 is going to be at the launch of this system. But the final thing is the most perplexing. It's just shows how humanity is right now. Entitled. Impatient. And that's saying a lot coming from me because I'm an impatient son of a bitch. I have to wait till April to get more information about the Switch 2 now. It's going to be such a long wait. Are you crazy? Are you out of your mind? Is there no logic in the world anymore? Because I saw that all over the place. Oh, I got to wait till April to get questions answered, blah, blah, blah. Okay, let's talk about why they did this now. First and foremost, because you're all impatient bastards, myself included. I'm very impatient with this. I've wanted a new Switch system for a couple of years now. But beyond that, they have investors meetings coming up. They have the end of the fiscal year 2025 coming up at the end of March. And then, a few days after that, they do the April blowout for the direct presentation. But there's another reason that's tied to that. For third-party developers, because now third-party companies, while they can't necessarily say a date of when the game will be available because of the fact that, well, we don't know the date of the system or anything like that, they can now say, our game is coming to this platform. Our game is coming to Nintendo Switch 2. So now you have an onslaught of third-party games, indie games as well, that will be announced as coming to the Nintendo Switch 2, being worked on for the Nintendo Switch 2. You'll get more information soon. You might actually even see some gameplay. Because if it's a game that's already been announced that is being now touted as coming to the Switch 2, companies are going to be in a position to start talking about these sorts of things, thus giving you a plethora of information from now until April. It's not like the communication is going to completely shut off here. Yes, Nintendo themselves might not talk too much about it, but the third-party companies are. The accessory manufacturers are, and maybe you'll get some more information on that little mouse and how it works, because now you got to make a freaking cover for the mouse thing. Like, I don't get it. I don't. You finally got something, but it wasn't good enough for you. It wasn't what you expected. It wasn't a full-on, 20-minute presentation or half-hour presentation with a bunch of games and stuff like that. But it was never meant to be that way. It was meant to simply give you an appetizer and just see some people. People just must like to be miserable. And that means a lot coming from me, because I'm not exactly positive Pete over here. Like, I'm pretty much a curmudgeon at times, but like, even I got to draw a line here, man. It's like, bro, just enjoy it. You can have some concerns. If you're concerned about the backwards compatibility thing, that's potentially valid. If you're concerned about Mario Kart looking like Mario Kart, that's a little bit valid. But everything else I talked about, not valid. I'm sorry. I don't give a shit what Switch 1 games look like on day one on the Switch 2. I do not care that the system has a similar name and a similar design to the most successful system that Nintendo has ever made. And I don't care that we have to wait a couple more months, because there's still going to be tons of stuff to talk about with this. But that's just my opinion. What the hell do I know, man? What do I know? Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. And as always, guys, thank you for checking out this video. Let me know some of the strange things you saw, strange reactions you saw from people online in regards to this trailer announcement. I'd be interested to hear some of those, because I'm sure I'm just scraping the tip of the iceberg. But like, bro, go outside or something, man. Like, I thought there's so many. My backlog, my Switch backlog is so big. Let's shut up and go play that. Let the people who are looking forward to the new system enjoy the new system. Or go play Dreamcast like I do most of the time. And as always, guys, if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Be sure to like, comment, share, hit the bell as well, because there's going to be a hell of a lot more vids coming out. And as always, I'll catch you guys on the next video. Later.